42 years. But funny enough, their marriage timeline is very similar to their timeline being here in the network marketing channel. They've been in 2 other companies, roughly about 20 years in each company. And they've only been at Lifeway for 20 months. So imagine, these guys are hardcore, they're committed, and they've been very successful previously. And they came over with all this wealth of knowledge. It's funny, I remember when they signed up initially, they joined Lifeway, and it's interesting because when they come, they came from all this experience and they needed help because they had a team they're building, and we were on the phone quite a bit to make sure they were getting everything the way it was supposed to be for their organization. And it's been amazing to see over the last 20 months, they've now grown an organization over 11,000 people on their team, and they're doing incredibly well. They're out from the Pacific Northwest. But, fun fact, it was her birthday 2 days ago. So when she comes out, give her a happy birthday, okay? But it's my pleasure to bring on 2 incredible leaders. We've got all the way from the Pacific Northwest. We got David and Terri Miller, one-star presidentials.
Thank you so much. And first of all, I am excited because I'm sure I'm going to have more than I was going to have. So that's exciting. We wanted to, first of all, a lot of gratitude to be invited to speak here today. We wanted to share just a little bit about our story.
We got a lot of bit about our story. It goes back a long ways. We've been in the industry for probably, 40 years now. The first part was kind of like, how you're in the military. We have one person in the military, but you're both in the military, and the family's in the military.
Wait, you didn't want to be part of Mary Kay?
I didn't really. It doesn't kind of fit my persona, and I love seeing her blossom in that and build and grow an organization. But it also led us to our future, which we fell in love with, and these types of businesses. We kind of left the last one and said, we're kind of going to move on from it. But then as I looked at the future and looking at, we were just like, okay, we'll just kind of retire and we'll do a fun job and stuff. And I started looking at the market. It's like, you have to do this much and commit this much for this little? I'm spoiled. I'm ruined for a typical job moving forward. So we took our love and our passion, but we also found at the same time, God is good, and he put this right in our lap. And right after we left, and it was just like, it's like, no, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, I have so much gratitude.
No, we're not going to do it.
We were not going to do it. But we had journaled and prayed every day for the few months after we had left the other company, and about what was going to be in our future and what was not going to be in our future. And I have so much gratitude for our friend who called. I had some serious complications of long COVID. Like you heard, we've been married almost 42 years. Our roles had changed. He was my caregiver. Not fun. That's not what you want your best friend to be.
Not a fun season of our life.
No. And so when Casey called and gave us the information, I just so much gratitude. I was like, price a cup of coffee a day? Let's go. Let's do it. Let's give it a whirl. And super happy that he signed us up as a brand partner because we were not going to do the business at all. But so much fun to be able to do that.
Yeah, we took a trip to Europe, and I discovered how great the patches were working on a bike trip. I was doing the Ventoux, and I had an amazing trip, even though I didn't have time to train. Then we went to Iceland, and we were in the spas, and people were just flocking to us. What are those patches? What are those patches? It's like, this is going to be the easiest thing we've ever done in our life. So we just kind of jumped in and started building. And one of the things is we got to take all our experience from our previous businesses and the knowledge we developed from those and the personal development and all the things that went in, and we just had to apply it to it. And this has been the easiest.
Oh, the easiest. And one of the things.
And we're not supposed to say it's easy. We're giving it a comparative reality to what we did previously.
And because we did have a lot of experience from this industry, we really reached out to our support team, corporate compliance, and had some very serious conversations. And it just kept checking off the list. So, and in 20 months, what we saw at the beginning is exactly what it is. So we just have so much excitement. For mine and David's why, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, and that we've talked about that today already. But our obligation, our desire is to assist families. My desire personally is to assist families to create enough income so they can be fully engaged. That is where my heart's passion is. And direct selling and having an in-home based business and being an entrepreneur gives that freedom. You can work where you want, when you want, decide what amount of income. It was when we were in Europe, realizing how much we love to travel. 83 plus countries, we're in.
Yeah, one of the things about this business is basically you may have a passion that you want to fulfill in your life. And Lifeway can be the passion, or it can actualize those passions that you have, those things you want to accomplish in your life. Maybe you have a strong desire to help animals, and you want to open up some kind of charity or something for that. This can actually help you actualize it. So it's maybe not be your why, and I think that if you look at patterns, and that's one of the things we developed over the years, we see things, we see patterns, we see things developing ahead of time so we can plan and do actions accordingly. And so one of the things we do is we just help get into people's whys, because I think we've hit that point several times a day.
Just
couple
a little
times.
bit.
Anybody's noticing a pattern get involved with the why? But you want to get you can say, this is what I want, but you have to dig deeper. You should be able to get to somebody's why where it gets a visceral response from them, where they just basically, they kind of start welling up. If I had this, it would be awesome. You've hit the why. Now we just have to go to work and actualize it. And this is one of the things that we're going to share here. And I'm going to prepare you guys to take some photos of the slides, because it's going to be like a checklist of how to be successful at this business. And it's been covered, a lot of it's been covered already, but we want to put in a systematic system that you guys can just say, look, I'm doing this, I'm not doing this. Maybe I should add that.
And that was absolutely one of the checklists that is how simple this business is. Yes, you need to jump in, make your list, actually reach out to the people on your list, assess your what's going on, see where you need to improve, get better. But the system was already there and in place, and that's why one of the additional reasons we jumped in. But also about your why is what makes you happy, and what makes you smile, and what makes you cry. And that is, so when you're working on that, for me it was Columbine. When that was many years ago, I had to pull over the side of the road. Oh my God. Every single time I say this.
Every single time.
Because that family needed to work extra hours to be able to supply their life, and that's why they didn't know what was going on with their son. And that is when I got beyond clear from my passion. And the direct selling world does it. So I really hope and pray that you guys get really clear on your passion. But also the other thing is, when you're working with your team, find out what theirs is. Whether it supports whether it's what's going on with you or your desire, it doesn't matter, it's theirs. So we want to kind of just go through and give you just maybe some pro tips of what we've learned in the last 40 years. Would you guys like that? Yeah. Okay, so the first thing that, the number one thing that we'd love to say is, whatever you're doing in your business, make sure that it's duplicatable. Every step along the way.
Well, they say everything duplicates, good, bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
You want to focus in on the good stuff.
Yeah, and you want to, so for example, when someone starts asking me scientific information, I send them some more information. I don't answer any of those questions, because if somebody doesn't have the confidence to do that, they maybe won't look at it as a business. Oh gosh, if she has to answer all that, then, and I could never do that, then I'm not going to do the business. Okay, so we basically, the first year we were in this business, we created a copy and paste business. That was what we did. We absolutely used the tools that had already been created for us. So just the different things of, your initial reach out, make it easy, make it simple, those types of things. And your conversation after they've done some of their homework. And then how you launch them. Just remember that everything you do duplicates. And that's probably why we've got to 11 1,000 brand partners on our team because it's just completely duplicatable. And the little things like this, like what I was saying, is the people on your list, when you reach out to them, just make the call simple. Make it real. Make it authentic. And that would be the other thing, is the more you can be relatable and authentic, people will be really more attracted to you. And I'm super glad that how I'll go normal. Are we normal?
Abby normal.
Yeah, Abby normal. But that I think that's why we've been able to create such a big business, because we're not super, super advanced or super, super techie or anything like that, and people are comfortable,
yes.
Around that. So the just the different tools that we've used, the videos, the website, the live presentations. The business we came from before was a coaching model. We only brought over maybe 10% of that, but we do use a patch convo tracker to take copious notes. So we're really, really listening to what they're saying, because ultimately you want to be talking to so many people, and if you don't take copious notes, you're not going to remember what they say. I mean, I think we've launched like 200 brand partners personally, and so that's really vital.
Yeah, we kind of fall under the Zig Ziglar rule. If you know the quote is, you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want just by a result. And so we really want to focus on people's success in this business. And it really is, I mean, we truly come from that place. It's like, we want you to be successful. What can we do to help you? Are you willing? But we have to also counter that and balance that with, we will match our time with your efforts. We're not going to chase after you. But when you raise your hand, we're going to be there. We're going to help you get what you want when you're ready and when you're willing to make those jumps. And sometimes it's like a 90-day spurt, and then they're settling into wherever they grew to, and then so on and so forth. But we meet them where they're at, and we help, and we really focus on their success. And we know if we do that, we're going to be successful in this business.
It has, and it's already been covered today. But one of the things that I've learned it in our previous years is listen to what people do, not what they say. We've got 24 hours in a day. Run with the runners and hold space for other people. This is a share call, I'm not gonna go through it much, but one of the things I wanna say is when I do a share call after I've had somebody do a little bit of homework, because there's so many easy ways to do homework. So I want them to have done a little bit of homework before I get on a call to share it with, but I keep the cadence of it exactly the same, because every step along the way is a training. And if I go in a 45-minute call, and their life is really busy, why would they join as a brand partner? Because they wouldn't think they would have time for it. So, the other thing is just, the steps along the way is, help them decide what bundle they want. Again, keep track of the different things, because the goal, again, is for you to be starting so many, and I say this kind of as a joke, but start so many that you can't keep track of them. That is, let's get this out. But the one thing that I don't think I started doing until 3 or 4 months in, and Carrie Robertson trained this to me. She probably said it many times, but I didn't hear it until then. That's one thing we'd like you guys to think about. What has already been trained on that you haven't heard yet, but maybe you heard today? Yeah, is after they decide how they're going to get this technology on their body, ask them who came to your heart and mind that was that you want to share this with, and write down their names, and even ask a little bit about them. And you'll catch on in just a minute how what that goes on. Whoops. So just again, the steps, we've got it all, is again, duplicatable. So after we set up their account, we send them their information. I send them a video so that they can share it with those people that they love. And then one of the other things I like to do is send that really great video that David Schmidt did on a monthly, which is how to understand X39 and Eon. And that's kind of like little homework that they do while their patch is arriving. I think we started 9 people before our patches arrived, because we started doing our homework. Because we just once you really do your homework, you understand the technology. And Then one of the other main things that has really made a difference in what we do is when their patches arrive, we do a patch placement conversation. And this right there entices them even a little bit more. Even though we've maybe done all the explanation of where the patches will go, how much to wear them, by the time they place their order and they arrive, a lot has gone on in their life. And they don't really know where to place it, how to place it, how many hours to place it, do I wear it for 24 hours, that. So that conversation is important. But my favorite part and the most successful part of that phone call is, again, to talk to them about who's on their heart and mind that they also want to share the technology, and that's what launches them. So that's probably one of the greatest things.
Yeah, they've already started making their list.
Yeah, and even if somebody thinks that they're just probably going to be maybe a wholesale user, they don't think they're going to share, even though they maybe don't want to share, build a business, once they have the changes in their body, they're not going to want to keep it to themselves. I often say, if you want to be completely selfish and not tell anybody, that's okay. But joking, of course. But there's people they love, and what we've started to do is just kind of entice them to be open and understand what's available a little bit more. And here's some steps that I'm going to talk to you about that shows this. But I want to add one thing. I had long COVID so bad that my brain fog was horrendous. If I would have heard really a lot about the business that first month, I wouldn't have understood it. So I started to really take that type of things into consideration. We've been quite surprised that we've had several people who have come in, and then 5 or 6 months into it, they're like, okay, I'm open. Let's see what's going on with this. But little ways to entice them, hand feed presentations to them, so that they know, they get it from you. Check in on day 1, 2, or 3. All patched up? That's hard coaching, though. All patched up?
Yeah, friendly competition is always good. And then leave nothing to chance. Basically what she's saying is that, if you want to have people in your organization and you have this group of people that have bought into at least using the patches, why not take it a step further? Why don't you give them a little bit more and a little bit more, so when they are ready, because life is fluid, right? And the one constant in life is change. Maybe something's changed in their life, and you hit them right at the right point. If they have that information, if they have that little nudge, that could be the decision they had, and they could be your next new presidential.
Exactly. So just again, take a couple screenshots of these. Is we just want to make sure that when you're launching a brand partner, don't leave anything to chance. Double check, go through the steps. But again, if everything you've done is duplicatable, you're going to be able to go into our text thread. There's the video that I sent you. You can send that to your mom. Do you remember, that first phone call that I made to you? I hadn't spoke to you in probably 2 years, but you were very happy to hear from me. Do you know how I did that couple-minute phone call? And then I sent you a video. That's what we're going to do with your list. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, everything you do is duplicatable, and it actually saves a lot of time for you, too.
Right.
So what we have seen, and I'm sure you have seen this, too, and we've talked about this already a little bit, is there are kind of 3 levels of brand partners. Ones who just come in to be wholesale brand partners, but what we have found even at that is they'll share with a person or two. And then they'll share with a person or two. And Meredith spoke about taprooting. And that's where you taproot into that. Like, what if somebody who was not going to build their business, talk to their brother, and their brother wants to blow it up? So that is great. But that's how we got to 11,000. And they told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends. So, but also we have brand partners who want to say they want to build, but they're not doing it yet. That's where you get to do things that entice them and make it simple and going for them. But again, remember to listen to what people do, not what they say.
And what that also does is it creates a push-pull. So if somebody that they brought in or shared the patches with is starting to get interested in the business, starts building the business, what's happening underneath them? their business is growing, and now they have more of an incentive to jump in. And some people just need a different jumping off point before they make their full decision. And these types of things help. So basically, we did this in previous businesses that were similar, but the thing is that people were building to a certain level, but we went and worked with people down below, and they started building big businesses, and then everybody in that line of business, and we're talking 11 levels down, every one of them started building their businesses and growing bigger businesses. So and that's all in your business. So it's really a good incentive to really tap root into
and that's
your
it,
organization.
So that they can grab, a binary spot. I mean, I think we've maybe start 2 PCs, and to be able to use a push-pull and do all that. And then, of course, the goal is ultimately to have tons of amazing brand partners who want to blow it up. And, just take a screenshot of this, and we only have about a minute left. But when you do 3-way calls, this is the one thing I want to say, is when I do a 3-way call, sure, I want to assist maybe their mom get started or their best friend. That's not my desired outcome on the call. My desired outcome is to transfer the skill. That is because if they've done their homework, they're going to get on the technology. But my goal is to transfer the skill. And you do just kind of process through it. But the main thing with duplication is you do it for them, do it with them, watch them do it, and then watch them teach it, and just double checking those things along the way. And just-in-time training, don't overwhelm your team. Just, give a little bit of what they want. And then like David talked about, their why. But the last pro tips we want to give, and we're going to just be a couple seconds over, is, again, run with the runners, walk with the walkers, so they feel safe and they feel confident with you, and hold space.
They feel valued.
They feel valued. And hold space, because let me tell you, a lot of people we've held space for are the ones that are blowing it up. And again, everything duplicatable, just-in-time training, and leave nothing to chance. Double check. The back office reports, Meredith, dang, you guys got them going on. So you can check everything. So thank you for letting us share, and thank you, LifeWave. Yeah.